Good evening. It's Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock, and it is time for Keto Confab. I'm Elizabeth Hanson, and along with my husband, Scott Hanson, we run Keto Confab. And this is a support group for people who are wanting to live the keto lifestyle. And so you're welcome to join us any Wednesday. And anyway, tonight, I don't really have anything to say other than I didn't make it to a 36-hour fast this week. I only made it to 26 hours, but okay. 26 is better than nothing. I'll try again next week. That's all I can do is keep trying. And anything else interesting?
When are you doing your fast?
I'm usually doing them Sunday, Monday, trying to get
Okay.
into Tuesday.
Okay.
But it just
I'm the
didn't
only
work
one
out.
here. Gotcha.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're the only one there. Oh, we could come over there and have a party.
Oh, yes.
Sure, no problem. So, and I haven't really been watching any keto related things this week. I've been stuck on liver function and pregnancy things because I've got clients that are pregnant and having problems. Although one of those things does kind of overlap with keto, and that is cholestasis of pregnancy. And it's actually a gallbladder / liver issue. And the reason it overlaps with keto is it's about the body's ability to process fats, and sometimes adding a bile salt will help with that. And BHB that Dr. Boz has is a bile salt that can be used. TUDCA is another one, but everything else I've done this week doesn't relate to keto. It just relates to other people's problems. And so anyway, that's all I have to say. And I'm attempting to get Dr. Hanson to run the show tonight. So I'm going to take it over to him and see what he wants to do tonight. But first, let's say hello to Renee. Hello, Renee.
Hi, Renee.
And I suppose we should ask, does anybody have a topic they want to cover? Any questions, any frustrations, anything they want to share about their keto journey this week or what? No.
My keto journey has done really well, but then I worked with some people and they said the word brownies.
Oh, no.
And I got told a little won't hurt you.
Oh, no.
A little won't hurt you. And I found out that it's either peanut butter or brownies give me heartburn, one of the two.
Oh.
Because I have decided to stop taking my Prevacid. And everything was fine until I ate those brownies. And then I had heartburn and had to take one. But I did it. I don't know what it did because I didn't bring my monitor with me to check my glucose or anything, but really can't complain too much about the effects of it because I got on the scale. I was 2 pounds over. The next day I got on the scale and I was 3 pounds under. So I don't know. But it's been going good. I do have a hard time here at work because everybody else is cooking at all different kinds of times, and it's a little difficult at work to stay on track. But for the most part, I am very happy. I'm down about 60 pounds since August. So went from a size tight 16 to a size 8 now in jeans. So I'm happy.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
My big plus is I decided I'm purging all the stuff in my house I don't need anymore. I mean, yay. but I came across this pair of pants that I haven't worn in heaven only knows how long, and they were like 22s. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're gonna see if I can zip these bad boys up.
Mhm.
And I was so tickled. Not only could I zip them up, they were actually loose around my waist.
Yay.
Huge plus. But now my issue is I don't have a belt.
Oh no. Oh,
Great, actually new to me pair of pants, and I can't wear them because I keep trying to fall down around my ankle.
Well, this belt I couldn't get on when I first started keto. So
Wow.
I
wow.
am very happy.
I remember when I started purging my closet, I waited until I had lost like 80 pounds to really start purging my closet. I knew a bunch of things that I couldn't wear anymore. I'd put on a top and I'd just be swimming in it, you know. And I'd put on a pair of pants and they just basically fall down. And I'm like, okay, I can't wear these. So I was picking through my closet and I finally said, okay, I'm gonna really weed this out. It was so fun to put on all these pairs of pants and them just fall to the ground, you know. I mean, they were way too big even for a belt. That was very exciting. And I would like to do that with my size 16, 18 pants. I would like to get to the point where they're falling to the ground, and I'd like to get to a size 10 or 8. That would be lovely. I haven't been size 10 or 8 since early high school, you know. But anyway, that would be fun. That would be
You know,
fun.
It was
I
fun.
think the best thing about our keto journey, at least for me, and I hear this from some of the rest of you all in our group, is when someone notices your weight loss, or you're telling someone about, you know, yeah, I've lost 80 pounds, and they go, oh my God, how did you do that? And
Mhm.
you tell them, they're like going, well, you know, I've kind of thought about doing keto, or, you know, I did keto and I didn't have all that success, or I had problems. And I go, I can tell you how to fix that. But, you know, and you can commiserate with them on the failure parts of it and say, yeah, I fell, or, you know, especially if you fell into the same trap, you've got that ability to say, yes, I had that same issue. And I realized it was because I did blah, 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 blah. You know, I have a new patient coming in that had to have her gallbladder removed and was told that she couldn't do keto because she didn't have a gallbladder. And I'm like going, that's not true. It's not true at all. And I said, in fact, it may actually help your body function a lot better because you don't have a gallbladder if you're on this. You still just have, I mean, yes, you have to be a little more aware of your fats for obvious reasons, but I think your body will actually function better. So that's there. I'm excited to help this person start on their journey. But it, to me, it's just that ability to tell someone there's hope. There is hope for your weight loss. You don't have to stay in this position of, well, I'm just going to have to, you know, live the weight I am forever.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, and
especially, you know, at my age, I thought it's impossible for someone who's 60 to lose weight. It's a lost cause once you get to the big 60. And I didn't find it that way. But a lot of people are like, what's the point? You're 60, you made it here, forget it from this point. And I'm like, no, there's a lot more life to live past 60. And I want to live it. And
Well,
Scott
it's
and
not
I,
only the weight too, though, you know.
yeah,
In fact, probably the main thing is, well, I mean, in your case, probably the main thing was your blood chemistry and your blood pressure.
yeah. And right now, Scott and I are planning to go on a trip, and there's going to be a lot of walking on the trip, and there's 422 stairs I need to get up and down.
Yeah, we're going to do the whole Appalachian Trail.
No, we're
Oh,
not
cool.
doing the whole Appalachian
In
Trail.
2 weeks.
No, we're not.
Ultra marathon. Come on.
It was nice knowing you, Becky.
Yes.
Can I just have the cooler stuff, when you passed on? Because I know he's gonna have to be dragging you back down the
Yeah, no, I would love to do part of the Appalachian Trail, but I don't have any desire to do the whole trail. And I think it's because it's such a long trail and it takes several months, and I don't want to be several months without a shower. Other than rain showers.
Well, they have a few streams along the way, just take a bar of
Brr,
soap.
brr. Yeah, no,
That's what fires are for. You heat the water on the fire.
okay. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Well, um, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to go on the Appalachian Trail. I'm originally from that part of the country, and I would like to go on the Appalachian Trail, but I don't think I'd want to do that for more than 3 or 4 days. Then I'd be good. I'm good. I did the Appalachian Trail. I don't want to spend 2 months on it. Besides, who's going to take care of the animals for 2 months? And
Bring them with us. They'll live off the land.
yes, wild grazing cats on the Appalachian Trail. I don't think they
And the
let you
dog.
do that. I don't think they let you do that. They might let you bring your dog, but I don't think they let you bring your cats.
Well, you can harness some cat,
Yeah,
teach them to read.
our cats, as soon as you put a harness on them, they
You'd have
lay
to kick
down
them.
on the floor and they're like, I'm dying. Oh,
That's my sunshine. She does the same thing. I put a harness on her. Mine. You would have thought I just injected her with, a paralyzing agent. She just go. Boom.
yeah, they're insane. But yeah, no. So over the next 6 weeks, I need to get my walking muscles going again, since it's been winter and I haven't been walking. And I'm trying to work up to going up and down our basement stairs 10 times every day, because 10 times is 130 steps. And then once I get 10 times down, then I'm going to go to 20, because I want to make it up those steps. We're going to a place where at the top of the stairs is a monument I want to see. And so I don't want to be gasping for breath and crawling up the steps and only make it halfway. You know,
Queen.
yeah. Well, hey, I just saw a YouTuber. She's an overweight YouTuber and she has lymphedema. And I like to watch her because she's funny and she's very perky and everything. And she tries to do everything, even though she has very huge legs with her lymphedema. And I sit there going, man, lady, if you could just go keto, but I haven't gotten up the nerve to put that in, a message on YouTube, but I'm thinking about it. But she went to Hawaii on vacation and she wanted to get up to the top of this volcano. And there are some steps, and then there's, climbing, and then more steps, and then climbing. And she couldn't even make it halfway up. And she works out, she goes walking, she works out, but she wasn't expecting stairs and everything. And I'm like, that is not happening to me. I'm making it up those stairs. and I'm not going to be carried down on a stretcher.
Well,
So
how do you do at home then? Are you doing okay with your 10 times up and down, or?
yeah, no, I'm out of breath. But I'm making it. My biggest problem right now is the unevenness of the ground outside. And I fell on the ice last Friday night when I was walking the dog, and my my back is hurting me a lot when I do a lot of walking, but I'm going to work that out too. So,
Well, I had also a win because my brother called me and I was talking to him and we were discussing whether he had time to have us come visit over Easter while on our way back from Albuquerque.
mhm.
And he goes, yeah, Lori's not feeling too good today. And I said, oh, why is that? And he goes, well, we've been doing this different diet. And I said, well, what diet are you doing? And he said, we've started intermittent fasting. And I said,
Oh,
I said, how long you been doing it? And he said, oh, a couple months. And I said, have you, did you go into a kind of fast or? And I said, you taking electrolytes? And I was going through this stuff. And I said, have you been consuming salt? And he was, salt? What do you mean salt? I said, you need to take in Himalayan salt or Redmond salt or something like that daily, more than
mhm,
what you put on your food.
mhm.
So he called his wife or texted her and she tried it. And she got back to me and she said, almost immediately, I felt so much better.
Mm.
She said, I couldn't believe it. It was that easy. But yeah, she
So,
was getting keto flu.
so what is this program that teaches intermittent fasting but doesn't teach using salt? Do you know what program they were following or what
Well, you said that
internet guru?
she said she's been watching a number of people on YouTube, but he didn't really know who they were. But I don't
Huh.
know if that Jari, what's his name? That he's a cardiac doctor from India or whatever.
Oh, Jama Natus boy. If Patricia was here, she knows his name right away. It's
Yeah,
like it's when I see his name, I think Jamaica, but I know it's Jama Natus or something like that. Pajit
yeah. So
Jama Natus. Yeah. Mhm.
he doesn't really talk about salt too much when he
Mhm.
talks about intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
I've listened to a few of his, and he just mainly talks about how you should intermittently fast.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know exactly who she was listening to, but she was very happy to learn that all she needed to do was consume some salt and feel so much
Mhm.
better.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of cardiology doctors that are recommending the intermittent fasting, the reason they don't want to mention any salt is because if you talk to a cardiologist, they'll tell you, oh, you can't have too much salt because it raises your blood pressure too much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they have this misconception that if you're fasting, you also don't want to have the salt because the salt, even if you're fasting, it's going to raise your blood pressure and then you might stroke. And it's like, guys, you're taking this in the wrong extremes.
Mhm.
So, but I've heard it more than once from cardiologists. So don't, you want to decrease your salt intake so we can lower your blood pressure.
Well,
Now,
and I think that they're doing 16.8 or 18.6, something like that. So
mhm,
they're not like going 36 hours
36
or
or
whatever.
whatever.
But yeah, she's off of her diabetic medication.
Okay.
Feeling a lot better. My brother's lost 20 pounds so far. And so
Well,
yeah,
good.
they seem to be real happy with it.
Good.
And
Hey,
Scott, why are you half black on your screen?
what are you, racist or
I,
something?
I really don't know. The thing is, well, at one point, about a couple months ago, my camera stopped working and then it spontaneously started working again. And then, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, half the screen wasn't working and then it came back on and then, I don't know, about 3 weeks or so, it stopped working just totally, but then today it started working, or at least half of it started working. I'm
Well,
not
I
let
think
really
me
he's
sure
in a
tell
what's going
different,
on.
I
you,
think
you
he's
gotta
in a
open your
different
screen.
time.
Yeah,
You have to open that cover on your phone all the way.
It's
no,
it's
I'm on a laptop.
Oh, just joking.
Yeah, I'm not on my flip phone anymore.
He's
This is
he's
2022.
also in a
Come on.
completely different time zone. He's back in the 50s.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
Another
yes.
problem, you know, that's why part of the screen is black. Plus, you'll notice he's in black and white.
yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that as well. It's kind of black and
Well,
white. Yeah.
he's time
Weird.
traveling. We have to remember.
If you meet up with Jamie and Claire, let me know, honey.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
If you find Beaver and his mom, you know, from Leave It to Beaver,
Yeah.
that, you know, their concept, although it was great, it's really jacked up.
Scott, I think you told me that recently you watched Dr. Siwas video on sodium.
Right.
Can you talk about
Yeah,
that
he
a
talked
little
about
bit?
salt. Yeah. You know, he talked about salt. One thing he said was that you know, let's see, he said that you know, if you he said that people who want to make sure that they defecate regularly, they want to eat more, you know, usually a dietitian or a doctor or whatever will tell them, well, they should eat more fiber. Now, he claims that fiber really doesn't have anything to do with whether or not, you know, doesn't have anything to do with your bowel movements. He says that, you know, sodium, getting the right amount of sodium is what's involved, because he says that the large intestine reabsorbs sodium back into the body, and so if you have a good amount of sodium in your diet, then you'll be able to you'll avoid constipation. He also says in I don't know whether it's that video or another one, but because there's two of them that I watched where he talked about sodium, and in one of them he says that you know, these people that talk about you know, drinking X amount of water every day, he says you don't really need to. He says the most important thing is getting X amount of sodium every day, not X amount of water every day. But, and I listened to that like 2 or 3 different times. He's not specifically saying you shouldn't drink water. He's just saying that the most important thing that you should make sure you get every day is sodium rather than water. And he says that he personally eats 3 to 5 grams of sodium per day. He I guess adds it to his food, you know. So and I tried to weigh out 3 grams of sodium on our scale here, our food scale here, but I don't know. Maybe it's too small an amount at once to weigh out or something. I don't know, but I think at the lab, what I'll do is I'll use one of those scales at the lab that you know, is designed for weighing very small amounts of things, and I'll weigh out, you know, in a little, I don't know, vial or something. I'll weigh out, you know, 3 grams of salt and 5 grams of salt, and you know, and then I'll I don't know, maybe experiment with eating more salt per day. I personally actually don't salt my food. I put a little Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese on my food, and that has kind of a salty taste. And but most of the time, though, I don't really season my food anyway. Whether I'm cooking, you know, during the cooking process, or whether I'm just eating it, you know. But anyway, so you know, that's what he said about sodium, and he's, you know, he talks about, he gets into a little bit of the physiology of it, and he says that, you know, sodium is what's needed to move things through the kidney, fluids through the kidney and stuff, and yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, if you look at a standard anatomy textbook, it's going to say that yeah, you know, the body pumps sodium out of the blood, and then water follows it, you know, by osmosis, and you know, that's true. I don't know. I think that you know, if you had a perfect amount of sodium in your body, but you were low on calcium, you know, had either too much calcium or too little calcium, or too much potassium or too little potassium, I think that would throw off your water balance as well, because those are ions also, those are electrolytes also, and water is going to follow them just as much as it follows sodium. But anyway, you know, I mean, he does he does make a few good points about sodium, though, and so, you know, it's well, other sources tell you that, you know, if you're drinking a healthy amount of water, that's great, but don't drink pure water. You should have some sodium with it. Although I don't know. I mean, if you put that sodium on your food rather than in your water, it might be the same
Doesn't matter.
difference, you know.
Say,
So, Scott, do you
I
have
know.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Julie.
I know that if I use Soleil water, 1 teaspoon of Soleil water or to 1.5 will give me diarrhea. But not, and now if I use just crystals, it doesn't do that. The Soleil water will.
So the Soleil water has sodium in it?
Yeah,
Soleil water
it's,
is dissolved salt.
yeah,
in
it's
water.
when you put one of those large crystal rocks of salt into water and you let it sit, and then
Oh.
the water that comes off it. I haven't done anything with Soleil water. I know Dr. Boz talks about it. It's in her books and everything. I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
But that's just been because I haven't had time. Go ahead, Renee.
I was just going to ask Scott, do you, being the scientist that you are, do you have a percentage breakdown of what is in electrolytes? Like how much sodium, how much water, how much of the different things that make up what we call electrolytes? It's something that we talk about having in our diet is having enough electrolytes within our body, but at the same, or within our diet, but at the same time, if you don't understand what components are in electrolytes and what the percentages of those are, I think it's, at least in my brain, at times it
Right.
makes it difficult for me to add things in or detract things out.
Renee, let me ask a question. Are you meaning like, what's the ratio? Like we need more potassium than we have sodium, but we need less magnesium than we have potassium. Are you asking for ratios of how we should try and get that? Or are you actually asking for perfect percentage of a balanced electrolyte in the blood?
The concept of correct balance of electrolytes within the blood.
Okay.
Because that's, I mean, and granted, it's not like we've got a little chemistry set here at the house, like we're measuring out our blood.
Yeah.
We know we need X amount of this to have balanced electrolytes. Then we need to know those percentages. Does that make sense?
You mean, so what you're asking is what mix of electrolytes should you be taking in? Is that what you're asking?
I think so. I just know that dietarily speaking, I know like if you have a problem in the hospital, they'll give you electrolytes, but that's in a bag, you know, and
Right.
you can walk up to the hospital and say, gee, can I have a bag of electrolytes to go?
Well, okay, yeah, the
That's
thing is,
called a
Making
banana
you like
bag.
you're a little crazy.
yeah, on Chronometer, you know, it tells you how much you should have per day, you know, so like, you know, Chronometer breaks it down to, you know, iron, manganese, magnesium, potassium, phosphate, I think, and sodium.
Sodium and calcium. I think
Is it calcium also? Yeah, that's right. Calcium's there as well. It's listed there as well. And so I think at least all of the major electrolytes are there, you know.
It
Yeah.
tells us, I understand that, but it doesn't really break that down to, you know, out of all of that stuff, what percent is iron? What percent is magnesium? What percent I guess I don't know if I'm asking the question right or not.
You mean what percent of your diet should be iron and what percent of your diet should be?
How much percent you should have every day? Is it, I mean, how much like is it, you know, if you go through the chronometer, it'll say it has 25% sodium, it has 30% potassium, it has 6% iron, blah, blah, but that's for a specific food. And
Yeah.
how many grams makes 100% of everything, or however you would measure that,
Yeah, it gives you
of
that.
each component.
Yeah, it gives you that. Yeah.
Okay.
But how much do you need? If it tells you you're going to get to 100%, then, you know, that's based on their calculations of each food that you take in.
Yeah, the thing is with the chronometer, I'm logging what I've eaten. And then you
Right.
can look back and see, did I get the right mix of electrolytes today? You know,
Yeah.
yes, no. And so, but I think what Renee wants a guideline that if I eat 2 fresh vegetables and some egg and a meat product each day, will I get all the electrolytes I need?
Yeah.
And
Kind of, I think you're kind of on the right track, Elizabeth, but it's more of, I mean, again, if you become very, very ill and you go to the hospital, they will give you a bag of electrolytes.
mhm.
Right.
About that bag of electrolytes that makes it so stinking perfectly balanced electrolytes to rebalance your system.
Yeah.
There's a percentage of everything that's in that bag that makes that electrolyte something that's helps your body.
Okay, let
Right.
me ask a question of Julie. Julie, do you do IVs on the ambulance, or are you not certified for that?
No, I do IVs.
Okay, and do you give people electrolytes, bags of electrolytes?
No, it's called a banana bag.
Yeah.
That's what they call it because it's
Mhm.
yellow.
Mhm.
People that have, usually people that are drunk and
Mhm.
come in, they will give them one. My brother got one when he had COVID and he couldn't eat because he couldn't keep anything down. So he got one.
Mhm.
Um, and yes, they do have a certain amount of each electrolyte in them, but I think almost every electrolyte product that you buy on the market has the same formula.
Okay, like the same ratio of calcium to potassium to sodium
Yeah.
to fluoride to manganese to
That's what I'm
magnesium and
looking
stuff.
for.
So those like electrolyte drinks they have out there, or those powders you can add to your water and stuff, would be at that ratio-ness. And
Yes,
and
if it's a reputable company, they're going
right,
to give
right.
you everything you need. And some people will use those every day. And I myself think that I need one because sometimes I have muscle cramps, whether it's potassium or magnesium or whatever, but I haven't changed my supplements. But I will have leg cramps one night, but then it might be 2 nights later before I have another one. And it's like, okay, so somewhere along the line, I'm not eating a food that is giving me what I need, because I don't always eat the same thing.
Mhm,
So there's something missing sometimes that then I get leg cramps or muscle cramps from.
mhm.
I think that's
And I'm gonna guess it's
that's
potassium.
the same thing, Julie, is when you're eating what should be a relatively correct diet, but you still, like you said, you have this, well, what did I do wrong that I've got this or that happening? I wanted to be able to at least be able to look back or be able to say, well, I know that I ate this and this and this and this and this. And if I know that I'm eating the correct percentages to get balanced electrolytes within my system, because I need this ratio in here, then I would expect not to have those things happen. Maybe.
Right.
Well, then this is where chronometer comes in. If you are logging your food every day, and let's say you've logged your food for a month and a half, and then all of a sudden one day you're having terrible leg cramps, or what happens to me is dizziness. I feel dizzy. And if I look, yeah, I'm a dizzy blonde, Scott. I see that smug smile.
No. I wasn't laughing about that. I was laughing about the fact that you should log it every day. So the time to log it is every day, right?
Right, yes, we need to do what we are doing, and the time is every day, yes.
Yes, okay, I got that right.
Thank you, Madam Vice President, yes. Um, anyway.
Love you, Scott.
Yeah, love you, Scott, yeah. Because then you can look back on your chronometer and just looking at the micronutrients, the electrolyte nutrients, you can see where you went wrong, you know?
But see what I'm trying to do is to prevent that to begin with.
Yeah, but see, Renee, what percentage might work for my body may not work for yours. These banana bags are for people who are down, they're really down, they're out. They're not
They're
just kind of
depleted.
dizzy, they're very depleted. They don't just have leg cramps, they're not just kind of dizzy, you know. They are completely dehydrated, they're drunk as skunks and stuff. So that's a rescue remedy, you know, the
Right.
banana bags.
But
So
even so, my thought was you have a maximum amount that's for the rescue.
mhm.
Question was to Scott, is there an actual formula per se? And granted, it's not going to come in a bag, but it would be a percentage of each of those components that creates what we call balanced electrolytes within the system.
You mean are you talking about a certain percentage that is in the body?
Or should be.
That the body needs.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I think somewhere you could, you know, in the introductory anatomy book, they don't say, okay, this is the percentage that you should have. There may be somewhere in there that they say this is the percentage that the typical person has. But
at the same time, though,
probably
it's going to
somewhere.
depend. Are you sick? Do you
Right,
have
right,
you know, have you had enough sleep? Did you get to eat all your food? You know, there's so many variables that are going to depend on that. And like Becky said, each one of us is different on our requirements for our body. It's probably pretty much the same. You know, it's probably pretty much the same, but you might need more magnesium and I might need more potassium and Scott might need more calcium, you know.
right.
And I need
Depending
more
upon
ice cream.
Or chocolate.
Or
more
chocolate. Yes, yes.
Chocolate
Yeah.
chips.
Very essential nutrients. I'm sorry, I'm being silly. But yes, you know, we are each very unique. And this is why I'm saying that following your chronometer, and you're going to have to work it out for yourself. Now, I see online on my other computer, I looked up electrolytes and electrolyte imbalance and stuff. I see that Dr. Berg has a number of videos online about electrolytes, what's most important, and he's got one on the 4 most important electrolytes needed for the body. Maybe this would have an idea of levels of what we should have, but it's going to be hit or miss. I know that I need sodium and potassium and magnesium. I will get leg and foot cramps if I don't take my magnesium, and if I don't eat a vegetable or something that has potassium in it every day. I will have heart palpitations and stuff without potassium, and or I will get that dizzy feeling and stuff without potassium. So I think it's an individual thing, Renee, that you have to watch your symptoms and be aware. I mean, he's got a video on signs and symptoms of electrolyte depletion. So how might you feel if you're depleted in magnesium? How might you feel depleted in potassium or sodium? And then if you can watch your symptoms and everything and watch on chronometer how you're doing on getting enough and stuff, you can eventually learn Renee's normal levels, what Renee has to eat. I mean, I have to eat some broccoli or tomatoes every day to make sure I'm getting enough potassium. I eat other foods, of course. I'm not just eating broccoli and tomatoes. I eat other foods and I get a little bit of potassium, like from my eggs and from my meat that I eat each day. But I have to make the effort to have that tomato every day, or that set of broccoli every day, or I will get that dizziness or the heart palpitations from not having enough potassium. So
Well,
watching.
there's he just has a video he just put out about potassium, and the big potassium foods are broccoli, Brussels sprouts, leafy greens, kale, asparagus, and Brazil nuts.
Mhm.
And so I think that's why I'm getting muscle cramps, is because I ran out of my Brazil nuts.
Ah,
And I think that's why, because I was eating
mhm,
Brazil nuts every day and then I didn't notice them. So
mhm. Yeah.
everybody's different food though. Yours is broccoli, mine's Brazil nuts. So,
Mhm.
you'd have to experiment.
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to experiment and find out what's best for you.
Yeah, I know one of the things that when I have not had my avocado and bacon, I feel off.
Mhm.
And I don't know what the components are of
Avocado has potassium too.
the two
Yeah.
particular, why that combination makes me feel off. I can miss one of those and feel fine. But if I
Mhm.
miss both of them at the same time, it's like my whole body goes, something's wrong.
That's probably
Well,
potassium.
yeah. I know that bacon has some B vitamins in it. I know it usually has sodium. And of course there's the fat, and the avocado has some B vitamins and potassium and fat in it. So, it could be any of those elements, and getting your servings of them each day gives you that amount that your body needs. And so yeah, for me, I need, eggs every day, because for whatever reason my lungs have always been a sore spot for me. I've gotten a lot of pneumonia in my life and bronchitis and everything. They're always my weak spot. And the albumin that is in eggs seem to keep my lungs functioning well. So I eat eggs every day. I eat 4 eggs every day. And a lot of people are like, oh, 4 eggs. And I don't think of eggs as poor.
Melody says, I had a lot of questions about chronometer. What is the energy thing and how do I translate that?
Anyone know what she's talking about? Energy thing.
Also, I
I'd
have a
only
lot
worry
of
about it.
problems with finding some foods and I have to enter my own recipes. So I'm kind of guessing at some things. Also, it seems that when I need to have Oz, it only gives me, or ounces, excuse me, it only gives me grams, or I just don't get the measurement options I need. Anyone else have those issues?
You can change the measurement option. Scott,
Yeah,
can't
you
you?
will, yeah, you can change the measurement options. The other thing is, well, number one, are you able to change the measurement options on any of the foods that you enter? Number two, if it is only giving you grams, you could take those gram numbers and let's see. So if you take the number of grams, what you do is you divide it by 28, and that'll give you the ounces, because there's 28 grams in an ounce.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, if you on a search engine, if you type in X number of grams and ask for ounces, it'll automatically do that for you.
Google has that translation thing.
Yeah,
It's
just like
fantastic.
centigrade and Fahrenheit, it'll do that for you as well. The search engines do all sorts of conversions, actually. Few people know that, but you know, Google and Yahoo and pretty much any search engine will actually do conversions for you if you need that.
And if you're going from ounces to grams, because if she can only log in grams, but she's eating in ounces, then it's a multiplication problem. It would be every ounce is 28. So if she has 10 ounces, then it would be 280 grams, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So, Melody, I think I understood what you said was they were only letting you log in grams, but you've weighed it out or measured it out in ounces. So the number to remember is 28. Just multiply whatever ounces you have by 28. And
yeah. It seems weird that it's not letting you do it in grams though. But
Because mine lets me all the time.
yeah, so does
Yeah.
mine.
well, you know, Becky, if you could share your screen,
Oh,
you could, you know, do a demonstration, for example, you know, and
oh, I don't know if I've logged on to. Have I logged on to Chronometer on this?
You said
well,
it depends on the food.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that I've still been able to go in and have it change over. So
Yeah, maybe with certain foods it doesn't for some
well,
reason.
that's true.
I'm
I don't
not
need
quite sure,
everything.
you know. Yeah, Melody, if you
It looks like
if
it.
you give us an example of food that it's not letting you convert to grams or to ounces or whichever one you want, we could look at that probably and see if we can figure it out. But yeah.
Yeah, Scott, the Zoom meeting starts to go wonka doodle when I go off the screen with
Okay.
the Zoom
All right.
meeting. It tells me, oh, you don't have enough, I don't know, memory or whatever to go
Can I
somewhere
share my
else and stuff. So, yes, I
Doodle, I
believe.
like that.
You
Oh,
could enable it. Yeah, if you could enable it, I could share my screen.
yeah, Wilma's got, oh no, I thought Wilma had her hand up, but it was my my little pointer thing was making a hand over Wilma's thing. Yeah, I know. I'm looking for share the screen. Here it is. Share the
Well, the
screen.
energy is just basically how many calories you've eaten that day.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
That's what
it
the
is.
energy is.
Yeah. And also it tells you, you know, if you type in a food, you know, and an amount of that food, it'll tell you how many calories you get from that, you know, that amount of that food.
Okay, Scott, I've allowed for others to share their
Okay.
screen. Do you think your screen will show up all the way since your camera's kooky?
Yeah, well, we can try that, I suppose. Let's see. Okay.
Looky there.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Ooh, let's
All right.
read his email.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I was
Made sure I
liking the
flipped off
babe
of that
standing
quickly.
next to the surfboard. That's
Yes.
that's Becky when you first got married, right?
No,
No, Elizabeth, that
No.
wasn't you when
No,
y'all first got married.
I want to see this chick, Scott.
Oh no, Scott, you're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't. Yeah, I can't control which ads pop up. You know, I just whatever. You know.
Oh, is that the story you're going with?
Yes. Yeah. 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 I have no control over what ads come up. You know.
Okay, so Melody, can you give us a food? Oh, will we still be able to see the chat? I can't tell. Oh, no.
We're having
Oh
technical
no.
difficulties. Huh?
Oh no. Can we see the chat? I tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I don't know.
She hasn't put anything on there about the food yet.
Okay.
So you can. So Julie, you can still see the chat.
Yeah, I opened up the chat.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah. But anyway.
I myself, I don't pay any attention to the energy part of it because Dr. Boz doesn't really talk about that. She's more interested in carbs and keeping track of those. So I really have been
Yeah.
not paying attention to the energy or any other part of it for now.
The only times I pay attention to the calories is when I go crazy and have like cheesecake or something, and I'm really over on the calories, and then I'm like, see, this is what happens when you cheat. You go way over
Yep.
on the calories, you're way over on your carbs, you got way too much sugar, and see what happens to your blood sugar. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Well,
we have
just
such a hard
pick a
time
food.
because all of our life we have been, all of our lives, Becky, for sure, we
Yeah.
have been told, clean your plate. You can't have dessert till you clean your plate. So you
Mhm.
clean your plate because you want that dessert. And it's so mental, and
Are you
food
calling
is
me
such a
mental?
big thing. What's that? Yeah, you're
You
mental.
call
But it's such a mental game we play with ourselves, you know.
Yes, Scott, I see down there where it says grams.
Yeah. So I typed in spinach, and so, you could, it has 100 grams here, but you can do cups or ounces or,
There's ounces, yeah.
yeah. And so,
you get a lot more ability to do stuff on the computer rather than the app on your phone.
oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh.
computer gives
I don't
you a
really-
lot more
Oh, really? Okay.
ability
Okay. Well, maybe
to
that's it.
change things.
Well, maybe that's it. So Melody, if you're trying to do it on the phone, maybe it's not letting you because it's on the phone. I don't know. I don't, I used it. I used the phone app maybe once or twice early on, but yeah, I just use it on the computer. I'm usually sitting at a computer screen anyway. So,
I use the phone all the time, but I did notice that when I went into the computer,
oh,
there
really?
are a lot more selections.
Okay. Yeah.
See, I did all my stuff on the phone and still saw all these
You're
options.
still able to do it.
I just had to
Oh.
hunt for them, but I just can't remember how I did it.
Yeah.
Well, I found that sometimes when I put a food in and it's telling me grams, I can't scroll down
On the phone.
on the phone,
Okay.
but I can scroll up, and if I scroll up, then they're there. I'm trying to get to my chronometer on my phone now to see because sometimes it does want to make me put it in grams, and I'm recalcitrant and don't do that.
Well,
tell it, no.
generally, even on the phone, it gives you all kinds of ability to be able to put in whatever you want, you know. I'm just looking here to see if there's a way of being able to change the display units.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah, you should go into the whatever it's called.
Settings.
Yeah, the settings.
Should let you see everything in grams and ounces. I think you have to set your options up there.
Oh yeah, settings right there. Oh yeah.
Look at iconic protein drink.
Huh?
Melody.
Look at iconic. Is that I'm assuming, Scott, can you type that into iconic protein drink?
Yeah.
It only gives me the bottle, not ounces.
Oh, really? Okay. So yeah,
which flavor do you want, Melody? Do you want the vanilla bean, the cacao and greens, the chocolate truffle? Which one do you want?
Grass-fed protein.
Oh, she wants chocolate truffle.
Chocolate truffle. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Yeah. So you're only getting a bottle.
Oh, it does only get the bottle serving.
Oh,
Yeah.
but see, you can go in the serving size and do 0.5, and that's half the bottle, or
Right.
0.25, that's a quarter of the bottle. How much of the bottle do you drink at one time, Melody?
Yeah, okay, so we've got, yeah, it give me 0.25 of the bottle, yeah. Yeah, that's a way to get around that, I
So this
suppose.
is
Yeah.
what I run into quite a bit, is what Melody says.
Okay,
Okay.
well, then you do just a fraction then. You know, if you don't drink the whole bottle, then just use a decimal fraction of the bottle. If you're using just 30% or 20% of the bottle, just put it in, you know, 0.33 for, you know, 30% of the bottle, or a third of the bottle. Put in 0.25 for a quarter of the bottle, 0.5 for half the bottle. You know, just you've got to make a guesstimation. How much of this do you normally drink, Melody?
I even do that, like, just say a serving size for whatever reason is 5 Brazil nuts or whatever. And then I know you can change the number on there, but you know, whatever it is, I put 0.5 for a half or 0.25 for a quarter or something like that. And that works out pretty good. It may not give you ounces, but it does work. You just guess how much you
Yeah,
drink.
you just guess, you know. Sometimes it's just ET to pleasure sometimes. Oh, you mean you just want a little taste, just a teeny bit? Well, you know, then just guess. Did you do 10% of the bottle? You know,
I
So-
get that some foods don't work that way.
I'm not sure what we're saying about work what way. That you can't divide them up in a percentage?
I've done that before, like, because usually it'll tell you that amount is, say, for 1 carrot, then I might say half a carrot. I'd say 0.5 carrot. Of course, I haven't.
Maybe maybe
I
just
try to remember them.
text Becky or
Bless her
something
heart,
at
she
one
says
time.
she's having major computer problems.
Yeah, I know. You
If you have Becky's
said,
number, maybe you could text her and she can look at it with you, or
I think
even
she
myself or
has,
whatever.
I think she has my number. Don't you have my number, Mel?
Because it's real hard to help you out unless you have a, okay, now this is what I've run into, you know, how would you do it type thing.
So this protein drink that she's talking about, how much protein does it actually give her?
Well, the thing is, a quarter
Okay.
of the bottle gives her 5 grams, so the whole bottle should give her 20 grams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll send it to you in a private message, Melanie, and then you can just text me. And then when I get a chance, I'll put it into Chronometer and see what I can do with it. Now, the thing is that I'm sure you make like recipes, you know, like Scott or Sarah.
Yep.
When I make a casserole for Sarah, because Sarah is used to eating casseroles. So when I make a casserole, a keto-friendly casserole for Sarah, I have to put all the ingredients in and make a recipe. And that's why I have a membership to Chronometer, so I can do that. And yeah, I just made pizza. And so you're what I would do, I know you don't have a membership. Scott doesn't have one either.
I have
So
a membership and I put in my recipe.
so
You can put recipes in without a membership.
what you really, you can put a whole recipe in and put it in storage,
Well,
because
you
I
can
thought
Yeah.
you had
put
to
it in,
have
but you
that.
can't store it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did. Mine's in there.
Oh, you stored it? Oh,
Huh?
Oh, Because
Okay.
what I've done for Sarah and Scott and stuff is sometimes I'll just put in the ingredients, you know, like, I don't know how many ounces of this and how many ounces of that. And I'll put it in on a day where I haven't, I'll put it in on a day where I haven't logged anything yet. You know, so for a pizza, I'd put in the crust that I either made or purchased. And then I'd put in the sauce, whatever kind I had, and I would do it for the whole pizza. And then whatever vegetables or meat I've put on the pizza, I would put all of those in, and I would get all of the nutrient values, the calories, the protein and everything for the whole pizza. And then we would divide it up into how much they were going to eat. If they were going to eat half of the pizza at a meal or a quarter of the pizza at the meal, I would divide it up that way. And so Renee says she's been able to log recipes without a membership.
Julie said she
So,
did too.
oh, okay. And Julie did too. So, you know, there's got to be a way to make it work for you and be able to save that recipe. So in my membership, I've saved Sarah's casseroles. I've saved what they are, and then I can, you know, give a certain portion of them because our large casserole dish serves 12. It has 12 servings in it, and each serving has 5 carbs. And unless I change the recipe, then I got to refigure the carbs. And so anyway, does any of that help, Melanie? Okay. But if the only things you're changing is you're substituting, I don't know, spinach for kale on a pizza, I don't think it's going to change the micros that much. What do you think, Scott?
No, it won't. No, because spinach and kale are pretty much the same in terms of the nutrients that they have
Mm-hmm.
and the amounts.
So, you know, with a pizza, you're always going to have the pizza itself, the crust, and you're always going to have some sort of sauce. I know there are different kinds of sauce. And then you're going to have, for you, all of the vegetables that you put on. Now, if sometimes all you put on is cheese and you just have a cheese pizza, then okay, that's different than other times you put on onions and green peppers and avocado and spinach and sun-dried tomatoes. You know, I mean, I don't know what you put on your pizza. That's definitely going to have a different thing. But all you need to do is each time you make a different kind of pizza, just go ahead and log it and save it. And then when you make something similar, I mean, it's not like we're handing in our chronometer logs to anybody to be judged about what we're doing. And so this is a tool for us to see what, you know, what things we're eating and how, whether we're measuring up to the micronutrients that we need. And so if you're not perfect with exactly logging your pizzas, but you're close to it, you know, like I said, if 1 week you don't have any mushrooms in the house, so oops, mushrooms are missing from your pizza, that isn't going to change your nutrient values very much because mushrooms, let's face it, don't have a ton of nutritional value. But, you know, so you know, this is a personal tool for you to learn to use so you can watch and follow what works, what doesn't work. But it isn't like this is homework that you have to hand in or you're going to fail, you know, and somebody's going to judge it and you're going to fail.
And that you did right. If you can't find the exact pastry or exact item that you ate, you're correct in finding the closest thing to it, because that's what I've had to do before. And that usually works out actually very well, because they're going to be nutritionally very, very similar.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a cherry turnover one day and an apple turnover the next day, but you can't find apple turnovers, just log it as a cherry turnover, because the nutrients are not going to be that much different. The calorie count isn't going to be that much different. So you're doing the right thing, Mel. You're doing the right thing. It just,
Don't beat
No.
yourself up over it.
yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. Anyway, yeah, and boy, I'd love to have a pastry now that you mention it.
No, you want ice cream. Quit it.
Yeah, I know. It's been a thing this week, been wanting ice cream. I haven't had it, but I want it. But those brownies you were talking about, Julie, do interest me.
Yeah,
But
they were.
no,
I
they are
can
not worth it.
say they tasted good, but the heartburn wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what it is in brownies that
It was either
cause.
she put peanut butter in it, so it was either the peanut butter or something in the brownie, but I don't know. I think it was the peanut butter actually.
Do you eat peanut butter regularly, Julie? I mean, you know, like healthy, no sugar added peanut butter?
Oh, I use Jif. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use Jif.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But
another 5 pounds off for Melody. Very
I
good.
used to, but I used to eat peanut butter, but I decided to quit because just because of the sugar and that just makes me want it every night. So
Yeah,
Now you can get peanut butter without added sugar,
we know,
which
but it's
actually
not
was
the
pretty
same.
good.
but you know the carbs are the same.
Yeah.
Are the
On
carbs the same, even if it
I've
doesn't
I've
have
looked
sugar?
at it. The carbs are the same.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I've seen that too. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I've not looked at peanut butter because I'm not supposed to eat it. Cheesecake puts your blood sugar up to 150. Holy moly. Wow, don't eat cheesecake again.
Well,
Cheesecake
if
is
that
one
was
of the,
right afterwards, you can expect that though.
oh yeah, did it come down within 2 hours? Was it back down to like 100 or something, or did you not
And
test?
it went down the next day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. That's a
I
lot.
mean, it depends on how it just if you get the what only.
I think the natural peanut butter, only 2
Oh.
carbs for 2 tablespoons.
If you know, you can expect your blood sugar to go up within an hour, but you know, if it should be down by the next morning, closer to 100, depending on what time you ate it, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
But 150, if you're doing that an hour after you ate cheesecake, that's actually not bad at all.
yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to jet out of our group. I've got to.
Oh, it's almost 8:15. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to close things out here. Scott, why don't you come off this? Why don't you stop sharing your screen? Thank you. There we go. And all right. It's kind of
Anyway,
weird. I
it was
signed
good to
in
hear
on,
everybody and see everyone, but I've got to leave.
got a jet. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
Bye,
So,
guys.
unless anyone else has any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and close out the meeting. Anything from over there at Mel?
I'm good.
Okay. No, that's
Just
what
wish
I
me
thought
luck on
too. Not
my
bad.
journey to Albuquerque because it's going to be quite interesting.
Are you
Yeah,
guys driving?
you're taking the grandchildren, aren't you?
Yeah, so pray that we'll have a safe trip. 20
Um,
hours in the car with 3 little kids. It should be fun.
Is Dan going with you?
Nope, just
Chris-
Amanda and I and the kids.
Oh, Chris
Are you
isn't
leaving
going
this weekend?
either?
It's a long ways for Chris to drive.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I would think. Yeah.
It would take
Okay.
him anywhere probably 3 days to get down there if he was going,
Oh, okay.
because he wouldn't be able to sit that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to close the meeting out. Oh, wrong mouse. Two computers down here. Wrong mouse. All right. There's the thing. All right. I'll say good night to everybody, and we'll be back next week. Have a good week, everyone. Stay away from the brownies, the ice cream, and the cheesecake.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Bye.